The Philippines is a natural resource-rich country. 100 years ago, the forest cover represented more than 70% of the area of the country. However, the forest cover has been reduced dramatically. The main threats to the forest are illegal cutting of trees, mining, hunting, and charcoal making. The B+WISER program is a USAID biodiversity and forest conservation program in the Philippines, developed together with the Philippine government. Through allowing, forest rangers are able to collect data, and local offices are able to analyze that data, and decision makers are able to look at what's happening in the field and respond to what's happening with better resources.
With the development of smartphones, there was the obvious opportunity to use available technologies to create applications for data collection.
When the rangers goes out, they collect data on the conditions of the forest, the biodiversity species, and on the threats that they observe and how they respond to those threats.
At the end of the patrol, these data are brought to their base and fed into a computer automatically. Right away, the data manager and decision maker see what the patrol was all about. We train around 3,000 forest patrollers, data managers and decision makers in using the tools for collection of the data, and we trained the department in continuing those trainings. There are two elements to the feedback loop. One is the system-generated feedback, and the second element is the human element, where people take information and provide feedback and discuss what they have learned.
That allows for decision makers to distribute resources and to make decisions on staffing, on budget, and moving forward, seeing the effectiveness of the action that we're taking in the field.
If we would still carry on lobbying the way it was thought about or designed in the beginning, it would not have been successful. We saw the need for much more. We went from a very complicated planning framework to a simplistic plan that sets out straightforward targets, and the whole management in the field was more data-driven. The availability of information on the threats in the forest was also a big change. We don't necessarily respond with law enforcement to a small farmer that is encroaching the forest, but we need to provide alternatives. This information generated a different kind of thinking on how to respond to threats in the forest and what are the threats in the first place.
Allowing was the first system that allowed for 100% participation. We involved the rangers, the local authorities, the local technical staff, the planning staff into discussing conservation area plans. We were able to impact 7 million hectares of natural forest when the original target for the project was less than 700,000 hectares. However, forest conservation and biodiversity conservation is a long-term goal, and the Philippines need to continue to implement the system to be successful in the longer term. And that means continue to use adaptive management, which means even improving the system over time. They need to continue to ask questions, they need to continue to see what else do we need to adjust the system and how can we adjust responses to make sure that the overall objective of forest and biodiversity conservation is achieved.